Siemaneczko, witajcie w kolejnym odcinku z Black Mirror. Szybko dam wam znać na Discordzie. Podgląd na TikToku. Boże, co mi tak zamula internet dzisiaj? No chyba ocipieje. Nie wierzę po prostu. Naprawdę nie wczytuje mi mojego live'u. Chyba się wkurwie. Co jest z tym internetem dzisiaj? O! Czytało. Wi-Fi mam chujowe po prostu. Dzień dobry. Obecność. Piąty rozdział. Boże, ale już nie pamiętam. Co myśmy mieli zrobić? Po co mieliśmy tu wrócić? Rozmawialiśmy z tym kolesiem. Rozdział się zaczął. Że masz... A, dobra, pamiętam. Że ma szybko wrócić do Ashbury.
It's Samuel Gordon. Can you let me in?
Just one moment, Mr. Gordon.
To jest piąty rozdział.
Mr. Gordon, I
Co
have
się
terrible
stało?
news for you. The head doctor is dead.
Robert nie żyje.
What are you talking about?
An officer and a detective were here.
Robert nie żyje.
How did it happen?
They said they found his body at the old lighthouse. James was sitting right next to the body.
O
James.
kurwa.
He was
James
just
go
sitting,
zabił.
gazing.
Albo tylko
He
ten
didn't
siedział.
even try to escape. Just kept crooning some melody. I never thought that he would be able to kill someone.
To nie
Where is
on.
James now? Where did they take him?
Where he belongs, back in his old cell.
Siema.
It's going to be his home for life.
Obecność.
So, Robert is dead.
Robert nie
If
żyje.
James had killed him, why didn't he run away? I'd like to visit James. Can you let me into the main hall, to his cell?
How do you know where his cell is?
Well, Robert was in charge of this sanatorium, you remember? He told me where I'd find James.
Sorry, I did not realize that. All right then. I will let you in. But after what has happened, I cannot let you go in there alone. I will have to go with you.
No problem.
We can go then. You know the way, as you are so well informed. I'll be right behind you.
No ale ma miniówę.
Not this.
Co się stało?
I must fetch a doctor.
What happened?
Co się stało? James? Powiesił się! O kurwa. Ja pierdolę.
James, what he feared most has happened. He couldn't return to this place.
James się powiesił. James! I napisał na ścianie Samuel? No to chyba cię wrobił. James. Dlaczego się powiesiłeś? James?
At least he died quickly. At
Myślisz?
least he died quickly.
Co masz?
I recognize that tag. Robert's keys.
Klucze Roberta! O, klucze Roberta.
James must have taken them away from Robert.
Ciekawe. Napisał Samuel na ścianie.
James wrote my name on the wall. Why did he do it?
No, why? Ktoś zakleił dziurę.
Someone has plastered over it. Someone has plastered. I'll try to get the plaster off.
Usuń.
Damn, the blade cracked.
Ralph,
Ralph, can you hear me?
co się stało? Ralph,
Yes, I can, Samuel. Have you come to visit me? Or have you come to visit James?
James. James is no longer here, Ralph.
Why are you saying that? James is here with me. He's always here with me. I can hear his voice. He wouldn't leave me alone here.
I need to ask you about something that concerns James.
Yes, me and Mr. Bubby will help you.
Ralph, when did you last speak with James? Do you remember?
Yes, Samuel.
What did he say? Did he talk about why he escaped?
Maybe, but he was so terrified and was saying such a lot. Was very confused by it all. He kept saying that he hadn't killed him. That's what he was saying.
Robert!
Yes, him.
What else did he say?
He said he knew who'd killed him. That he knew.
The name. Can you remember the name of the person he was talking about?
No. I was confused. He also told me he's saying goodbye and that we would not see each other again. He didn't want to be put in his room again.
Ralph, please, try to remember who James was speaking about.
I don't know. I really don't. He wouldn't speak then, and there was a long silence. I don't like such silence.
All right, Ralph. I have to leave now.
Okay, Samuel. Mr. Bubby says okay.
Ralph was the last one to speak to James, but I probably won't be able to get much more out of him.
What are you doing here? Get out immediately! You have no business being in here.
I set off for the old lighthouse on the Sharp-Edge Cliffs, the only possible place where I can find out something about Robert's death. So here's where they found Robert's body.
Tu znaleźli ciało Roberta.
It's too dark. I can't see anything in there.
Masz zapalniczkę, Samuel. O, kolejny znak. Kurwa, kolejny znak.
Another symbol. I should make a picture of this one too. Done.
Już 4 osoby zginęły. 4 osoby zginęły.
It's too dark.
Nic więcej tu nie ma. Na tyłach też nic nie ma. Nie można tam zajść. Po prostu kolejny symbol był. Nic więcej tu nie ma. Dziękuję, Paulinko. Co on powiedział? Aha. Dobra, że odwiedzę doktora Hermana. Okej.
He probably didn't hear the bell. I'll try again. He isn't answering. Strange. I thought he'd be at home.
Dziwne.
It's open. I'll have a look around.
O Boże. O Boże. Dobra, ja zapiszę. Dlaczego jego dom jest otwarty i nikt nie odbiera?
Where could Herman be? He left the door open and the morgue too. Strange indeed.
O kurwa. Co to są za zdjęcia? Co to są kurwa za zdjęcia? Czy go pojebało?
What could have happened here?
Ktoś zabił doktora i Roberta? Ja pierdolę. Nie pamiętałem tego.
That expression in his eyes. How awful.
Ja pierdolę. Okej. Mogę jeszcze raz zobaczyć? Pierdolę, co za gra.
Who could have killed him? And why? He's clasping something in his hand. The fingers have stiffened and cannot be opened in their post-mortem spasm. He's clasping. The fingers have...
Nie da się rozszerzyć. Czym ja mam to rozszerzyć? Czy nie mam nic? Kur... Coś trzyma w ręce. Nic nie ma. Muszę mu jakoś rozszerzyć dłoń. Ale jak? Jak się rozszerza dłoń?
He's clasped. The fingers have stiffened.
Zapalniczką nie. Boże.
James must have...
Tu nic nie ma już. Chyba. Symbol! O kurwa. Ktoś leci ostro. Piąty symbol.
The fifth symbol. The fifth symbol. Got it.
Kurwa. Okej. Okej. Lampa. Lampa?
I'll turn on the lamp. It's quite dark in here.
Penseta.
An old
Mikroskop.
microscope. Is this what I think it is?
Boże. Okej. Książka.
There are a few plastic bags under the book. I'll take them. There is nothing in them.
Okej. Okej, Samuel, okej. Mamy szczypce.
The forceps should do the trick.
Włosy.
That must be the hair of the murderer.
Włosy
I have to put it
mordercy.
into something.
Czarne.
the murderer has black hair. James's hair was black as coal. I should go back to the sanatorium and obtain a sample for comparison. Someone's ringing the doorbell. I'd better leave quickly.
Detective.
Detective?
Mr. Gordon, what are you doing here?
I've come to see Dr. Herman, and, I know what it probably looks like, but I'll explain everything.
What are you talking about, Gordon?
I don't know how to say this. I found Herman downstairs. He's dead.
What?
I went downstairs and found his body on the table.
That is a serious matter. Are you sure?
I know what I have seen, Detective. His body is lying on the autopsy table, with the head off.
With the head off? I must go there right away. Listen, Gordon, when you found him, were you alone? Was no one else with you?
No one.
Strange how coincidence tends to lead you to a corpse.
He was already dead when I came around.
I believe you. I know who is behind all of this.
Really? Who?
That lunatic who escaped from Ashbury a few days ago. Who else?
To nie on.
Who else could possibly have committed such things? You remember that boy? And now, Herman.
Disfigured.
A normal person cannot have done that.
That's certainly true, but he hung himself in his cell. I was in the sanatorium today.
So, the murderer's punished himself.
Byłem przy wszystkich mordercach.
It's justice,
Morderstwach.
I say.
But you haven't got any evidence.
Gordon, there are several disfigured corpses and a madman was on the loose. You want more evidence? No thanks. Good that you told me about him, Gordon. Now please leave. I've got to go downstairs and deal with this. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Detective. Why would James want to kill Herman?
No właśnie.
Didn't even know him. I've got to get a hold of a sample of James's hair somehow and compare it with the chunk that Herman was clasping in his hand in his post-mortem spasm.
Niby jak to zrobisz? Ciało już na pewno przynieśli.
Who is there?
Samuel Gordon, please, let me in.
Just 1 second.
Thank you. May I speak with you?
Sure.
Listen, I need to know something. Where is James's body?
Excuse me?
Don't ask. Just tell me where it is.
Na cmentarzu.
Well, all right, if you must know. We cannot get hold of Dr. Herman. I don't know what is going on. So we placed the body in the old chapel in the graveyard until he arrives. It cannot stay much longer, though. It has to go to the morgue.
That's all. Thanks.
Nie powiedział jej, że Herman nie żyje. Nie powiedział jej.
The hair that Herman was doubtless the hair of the...
Tak, James nie żyje, Herman nie żyje. Doktor Herman też nie żyje już. Jesteśmy blisko końca pierwszej części. To jest już
Can't go back.
To już jest 5. rozdział. I miał wizję tego dziwnego miejsca ze znakiem szatana.
Mind your own business. I've got no time for you.
No, druga też. Będziemy grać z drugą i trzecią też. Oczywiście, że tak. Musimy przejść całą trylogię.
The chapel is locked.
Zamknięta jest. Kaplica jest zamknięta. Chujnia.
Locked.
Już też nic nie ma. We need the key.
I haven't got time. What do you want?
Can you tell me, why is that chapel in the graveyard locked?
The old chapel? I'll tell you why. It's locked because nobody has any business going in it.
Can you open it for me?
No, I couldn't. Nobody is allowed to go there, like I said.
But you have the key to it, right?
Exactly. And it's going to stay that way.
I have to get into that chapel at all costs. How could I possibly obtain the key?
Łapówka.
How about you lend me your key? I'll return it in a little while. You could watch my wallet for me in the meantime.
Do it.
A little extra added to that lousy salary of mine would come handy.
So, what do you say?
No, it's not possible. I can't do it. The head nurse would really enjoy the chance to fry my backside. I can't risk somebody finding out.
Too bad. I'll keep the wallet to myself then. I won't be keeping you any longer.
Good.
Kurwa. To nie będzie takie łatwe.
Mind your own business.
The boiler man probably would not like it. The boiler man... He won't let me. He would see me.
Co ja mam tu zrobić? Wróćmy do niej. Może coś nam się uda zdziałać.
There's no reason to talk.
Okej. Kurczę, co my mamy tu zrobić? Nie mam pojęcia. A, i wrócił tutaj.
I don't know what...
Naprawdę wrócił tutaj.
I must be quiet so I won't... This time, I wouldn't have...
Dobra, zapiszmy. Tu nic nie ma już.
I'm lucky there's no one here. I've got to take advantage of that before somebody comes.
Co masz zrobić tu?
Locked. I can't go there anyway.
Tu nic nie ma.
How do I obtain the keys to that chapel? I'll have a look around here. I've got to come up with something. I can't see anything useful.
Masz szmatę.
It's stinking. The door of the boiler is very hot. I should dampen it first.
With what? O Boże, musisz wrócić.
Too bad. No spare keys. Just an old pair of rubber boots. Personal stuff. I'll leave it as it is.
Po co ci gumiaki?
These are almost twice the size of...
Gumiaki? Po co ci?
I don't know.
Tu jest kran, zamocz. Dobra, masz mokrą szmatę. Teraz wróć. 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 Będziemy palić gumę w piecu i on umrze od toksycznych oparów. Na bank! Wiedziałem.
This should attract some attention. Now, I've got to get going.
Dobra, wyjdź stąd.
Maybe I went a bit too far with those boots. Hopefully none of the smoke has gotten into the building.
Gdzie jest klucz?
One cannot breathe in there now. It's going to take a while before the... It's quite...
Szedł do sanatorium?
We have said...
Co ja mam teraz zrobić? Gdzie on się podział?
Maybe I went a bit too... Hopefully none of the smoke has gotten into the...
Nie widzę tych kluczy ani nic. Łopaty nie można wziąć. Może poszedł na cmentarz? Nie poszedł. Nie ma go tu. To jak mam teraz klucz zdobyć?
The chapel is...
Wykurzyłem go i co teraz? Co teraz?
It's quite...
Są klucze! Mam klucze, są w zamku. Świetnie.
He left the keys in the lock. I'll borrow them.
Ślepota nie boli. Dobra, masz klucze do kaplicy. Go!
James's body. I need a little hair for comparison with the sample that Herman was clasping in his hand.
Boże.
A broken glass. I need to use something to cut off. I don't want to touch... Okay, this should do. Where could I have a close look at it? Well, maybe just. I'll go back to the morgue and use Herman's microscope.
Do that. Ale zamula. Komputer musi coś robić, jakąś głupią aktualizację, na pewno. Ciało już zniknęło, widzę. Aż tyle nas nie było.
It's set up properly now. I can use it. It's set up The samples differ. Even I can see that. It wasn't James who killed Herman.
No i
Who
dobrze.
was it then? Who's got a black? Morris.
Myślisz, że to Morris?
It's set up properly now.
Myślisz, że to Morris?
It's set up.
Boże, ten komputer musi coś robić. Okej, spoko. Morris. Morris to był chyba...
It's empty.
What a dreadful weather. Nie, nie na schody. Do stajni. Do stajni. Do stajni. Do stajni. Boże, ten komputer musi coś robić, tak zamula.
Morris isn't here. Where could he have gone? Morris's cap.
Tu będą włosy.
I found a little hair. I should examine it closely. Maybe this sample will match the one Herman was clasping in his hand. I found a little... maybe...
Co to jest? List?
a letter. Strange things have been happening around here. It all began a few days after the funeral of old Mr. Gordon, when his heir Samuel returned to the
Then his
manor.
heir Samuel returned to the manor. I haven't got a clue as to what's going on, but when somebody finds this note, I'll be far away already. It seems to me that that detective wants to frame me for Henry's murder, so I won't be hanging around. I'm going to go while there's still time. Feel free to keep my last month's wage, and don't bother looking for me. I won't be returning. Morris.
Morris has run away. I knew he couldn't be trusted. What if it was he who committed the murders?
Na pewno nie. W sensie możliwe. Sorry.
No, Morris isn't the murderer I'm looking for either. But if it isn't him, then who?
No właśnie. Who? Idź do domu, idź do posiadłości. Mamy klucze do Roberta. Do pokoju Roberta.
It's locked.
O Boże.
Robert's study. I feel as though he were watching me even now.
O kurwa. Wypiszmy.
Another key. Who's the man in the picture? I've never seen his face before. I have to find his place in the past and obtain his key.
Co to jest? Co to jest? Nie wiadomo.
A little key was hidden there.
Mały kluczyk.
There is nothing There's a solution of a distinct color in some of the tubes. Maybe this is what Robert was working on all the time. The liquid in the tube smells very bad. Some medicine. I'd better leave it alone. Anatomy. It's locked. It looks like a security code. There's nothing else there, just papers and a book. It's locked. Sophie, Robert's wife. She left him many years ago.
Żona Roberta.
A code of some sort. Strange, there's no writing on it.
D32120801.
I'm tired, but I won't rest yet. Robert's diploma in medicine. exactly 12? It probably doesn't work.
12. Oj, coś z zegarem będzie trzeba ustawić. Zegar pokazuje 12. Możemy przesunąć dużą wskazówkę i małą. Okej. Coś tu trzeba ustawić, ale nie wiadomo co. Coś trzeba na zegaru ustawić. W sensie na zegarze. Na zegaru. Coś trzeba na garu. Zrobili. Zrobił 18 na przykład. Albo ciekawe. Coś trzeba z zegarem zrobić, tylko co?
Assorted medical literature. Medical volumes. There's no point in skimming through these.
Aha.
That is a year prior to building the foundation of the castle. That is a year.
Data powstania zamku MCXX. MCXX. Nie pamiętam liczb greckich.
It sheds a strange. It sheds a. It sheds a. Six, 3, 0, 8, 1.
63081 D3212801115258884 63081 63081 Dziwne.
That is a. It sheds a. Six, 3, 0, 8, 1.
Nieważne od światła pokazuje tę samą cyfrę.
Six, 3.
Dobra, liczby egipskie. Liczby egipskie. MCCXX. 1220. M to 1000. C to 100. C to 100. 10 plus 10. Czyli 1220. Przepraszam, że oszukiwałem. 1220. Czyli 12:20. 12. 12:20. Nie? Aha, dobra, wiem o co chodzi. Też nie. Dwunasta. 20. Pierwsza, druga, trzecia, czwarta, piąta, szósta, siódma, ósma, dziewiąta, dziesiąta, 12. 12. Czegoś nam jeszcze brakuje. Tylko czego? Mam jeszcze drugie. 6, 3, 8, 1. Ale to nam nic nie da. To nam nic nie da. Myślałem, że wpadliśmy na to, ale jednak nie.
Study of the human brain. Robert has left this one opened. He won't be able to finish it now.
Nic już więcej tu nie ma. Dziwne. Sześć, 3, 0, 8, 1. MCXX. M to jest 1000. C to jest 100. 1120. 11:20. A ja napisałem 2C. 11:20. 11.
secret bookcase. Robert had more secrets than anyone would have suspected.
Boże. Po co on ma save? Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć. Aha, raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć. Sześć. Trzy. Sześć, trzy. Sześć, trzy. Zero. 8.
This is the right combination.
Boże. Dziwne.
I, William Gordon, have decided to bequeath my possessions as follows. To my dear Victoria, I give and will all my personal possessions, the family jewels and valuables, as they righteously belong to her, to her heirs and assigns forever. To my grandson, Samuel Gordon, I hereby transfer the ownership of the Black Mirror Castle, with all the neighboring lands. To him I also devise the administration of our family residence. Let him take care of it properly, as I no longer can, to his heir and assigns forever. To my beloved son James, I give the full right to live in his native residence for however long he should desire, until the end of his days. By this I hope to at least partially atone for your having to live in complete loneliness, my dear James. And lastly, to my firstborn son Robert. After long pondering, I have decided to deny the right to the property of our family. However, I do retain his right to his property and things that he has been making use of in our family residence. I know that you are well aware of the reason of my decision, Robert. In my eyes, you are no longer worthy of the name Gordon. These decisions I make of my own free will, and in the best of conscience. William Gordon.
William's last will was apparently meant to stay hidden from everyone. Robert, I see now I didn't know you at all, you bloody beast.
No kurwa.
It must be very old. Dear Samuel, it was not easy for me to find fitting words for these first lines that I hope you are reading.
As well as it was not easy to find out where you were living. I hope that my letter will reach your hands as soon as possible, as there is not much time left. Since your departure, I have contributed all my efforts and endless hours of sleepless nights looking for the truth about our family. I feel that I am already very close to beholding its full face, and I am concerned that I might not have the strength to look at it alone. Therefore I am turning to you, Samuel, for I know that you will hear out my plea. In this envelope, you will find the ancient ring of our heritage. It is very important that you always have it with you. Take extraordinary care of it. I will explain everything when you arrive. Please return to our manor and help me. I know my time is closing in. I can feel it. I am afraid.
William knew something, but now there's no way to find out what. Maybe I could have helped him if I had received the letter on time. I hope you're frying in hell. Can you hear me, Robert?
Ja pierdolę. Dlaczego on to wszystko...
I have no clue what's in them. A chemical of some sort. There are dates on the labels, month after month. It's a 3.5 millimeter.
Naboje?
More tubes with that smelly solution. Robert's diary.
Pamiętnik.
May 2nd. Tomorrow I will visit Dr. Herman in the morgue. If he understands what I wrote to him in my letters, it shouldn't be too hard to convince him.
I think he's my man. May 3. The visit to Herman fulfilled my expectations. Our secret agreement will make further progress in my research much easier. It did not take much effort to convince him to cooperate, just as I expected. Herman understands that science and research of novel concepts sometimes demands sacrifices. He agreed to take care of the first delivery tomorrow already, which suits my plans perfectly. If it were not for him, I do not know how it would be possible for me to keep on disposing of those damn bodies. Letting a few corpses disappear without a trace certainly will not be a problem for him as a pathologist. Last, I can resume work on the tests. May 8th. Previous tests were no use, and several months of work turned out completely futile. God's sake, where could I have made a mistake? Where? Calculated all the components almost 1,000 times, and just haven't a clue as to what could be wrong. It's starting to make me tired. It's taking much too long, and with every new day I'm afraid that someone will find out. It is with great luck that I convinced Herman to cooperate at the right moment. Either I improve the composition of the substance, or raise doses as they are. Otherwise, I cannot proceed further. Yes! That's it. The composition is correct. I merely require to raise the dosage. Yes! Should have started sooner with them. Oh, I will raise the concentration by 100%. May 9. Administered the higher concentrate to 2 subjects. I have to wait several days before I can make accurate measurements. At least I can now take a rest from all the figures and calculations. May 12. I thought I would not have to take any notes for the next few days, but I had a word with James today. He was acting differently than usual, and spoke about things that must never come to light. He knows too much about the methods of my research and can expose me. And worse, they would believe him. Do not know what to do now. Locked in that cell of his, he's trying to corner me. How ironic. Never before have I considered direct violence. But he is a threat to all my efforts and everything that I have achieved. May 13. Things are apparently worse than I thought. The head nurse spoke to James, and she herself suggested to me that we should release him for some time. It was quite an effort to convince her that James must stay where he is because of his condition. I have no clue what he told her to make her believe him, but I'm afraid he may tell her everything next time. Must not happen. He is not the fool I thought he was. I have to get rid of him somehow. May 15. Everything I once held firm in my hands is beginning to crumble and fall like a house of cards. Higher doses have had no effect. I verified all the measurements twice. Do not know how to continue. The whole affair with James refuses resolution. He must never be allowed to return to Black Mirror. Do what has to be done. There is only one possibility left. Only one solution. I will dispense with the calculations and raise the ratio of the effective substance by another 100%. I know whose veins I will inject the serum into this time.
Herman helped Robert hide the results of his experiments. The bodies of the patients would end up in his morgue, and no one was to find out.
Boże. Now what?
Old runes and Latin words are carved around the area.
Idź do Wiktorii.
May I speak with you for a while, Victoria?
Of course, Samuel.
Victoria, I was in Robert's study and I saw a picture of a man that I had never seen before. Is it someone from our family?
A picture? You shouldn't have entered that room, Samuel. Robert does not like anyone to go in there, not even me.
I merely tried to find something that would help us figure out where Robert could be. His things are all in order.
Oh, good. He would be angry if he found out that you had been in his study. That picture is a portrait of our ancestor, Lothar Gordon. It was he who founded the sanatorium where Robert works.
And when was that?
Some 200 years ago. I'm not exactly certain.
Ashbury has been a hospital of some kind for quite some time. Tell me more about Lothar Gordon.
He was chief doctor in a hospital for the mentally disordered for many years. In those days, however, they did not speak about therapy or medication. He would probably have carried on with his work if he had not fallen ill.
What was his ailment?
Over time, that place completely absorbed him. All those mad minds that he was spending days and nights with. In the end, he broke down, and his mind succumbed to insanity too. He died as one of those he was helping. A truly sad end.
When Lothar died, where did they bury him?
I see you are testing my memory. As far as I know, his body remained there as he wished. They buried him in a modest grave behind the sanatorium. Later, that place turned into a graveyard. Many who died within the walls of the sanatorium found their rest there.
What was in the Ashbury building before it became a sanatorium?
I have no idea. I was never interested in that place. Why are you asking about such a thing, Samuel?
I just wanted to know. It's not important.
I think on one occasion, Robert mentioned there used to be a hospital for cholera patients there. That building has a terrible past indeed. Would you please excuse me now, Samuel?
Today's newspaper.
Bates.
Yes, sir?
Bates, I have just returned from Ashbury. I spoke with the head nurse, and...
Any news of Sir Robert?
well, unfortunately,
From your tone, I anticipate bad news.
it's worse, Bates. Much worse. Robert is dead.
What? Sir Robert? That's inconceivable. Oh my, I sensed something terrible would happen. All this time since Sir Robert disappeared. This is going to be a tremendous shock for Madam.
Maybe it would be preferable not to let her know, at least for the time being.
But how could we possibly not tell her about this?
Bates, we cannot tell her now. Try to understand. We need to give this some time.
But Madam will continue to look for Sir Robert. She will find out the truth by herself soon anyway, and things will be worse for her.
Believe me, Bates. The later she learns about Robert's death, the better.
Oh, you are probably right, sir. We have to give Madam more time. The news would destroy her right now. Would you excuse me now, sir? I need to organize my thoughts.
I think I will go now.
I'll return to my work.
Dobra, na tym kończymy. Dzięki za uwagę. Zbliżamy się już do końca. Dzieje się bardzo dużo. Bardzo dużo. Nie. Pa, trzymajcie się.